Hey guys, I'm going to stream a replay real quick of a game I just played. I've been playing quite a bit, Season 3, about 50 games so far. So, been doing pretty well. Facing a lot of Masters players, for the most part. One former Grandmaster last season, Zeratul, is the name I recognize, but I didn't actually recognize it when I was playing him, and played a nice 30-minute macro game with him. I was probably behind the entire game. I haven't looked at that replay yet, but it was a pretty fun one, and it was nice to see playing really high-ranked people, or Grandmaster people at least, since last season I was Diamond, and I got placed in a Diamond again this season. But hoping to change that shortly here. Not sure whether I'm going to do this first person, or whether I'm going to do it kind of as an observer. I guess I'll flip back and forth between my view and what else is going on. So my opponent's going to be random MD Fox. We'll just call him Radman Fox. That sounds okay. So he is walling off here with his first barracks, and I have yet to scout. I'm going to be going for my pretty standard 15 hatch against Terran. Haven't played a lot of Terran on the ladder recently, mostly Protoss and Zerg. Don't have too much of a problem with Protoss, as you've seen in a few of my streams. I do quite well against them. Zerg's another story, and Terran I feel very comfortable with as well. So sending out my scout first, and then right behind it is going to be coming my 15 hatch, and again going to be scouting the locations opposite from where my Overlord went, and the Overlord's going to be going right into this nested corner here. That's going to allow me to see the wall off, and the expansion and the SCVs here, and the saturation eventually when he gets that up. Looks like he's readjusting his wall a little bit here, and I will be scouting him last with the drone. He's got his SCV over in my base at the moment, but no pylons can be placed down here. Not really scared of a bunker quite yet. I'm going to perhaps pull a few drones if I lose track of this SCV. As my hatchery is about to be finished, that's about the timing that a Marine and a bunker will be finishing. And you see the first Marine coming out here to perhaps put on a little bit of pressure. I do have eyes on this SCV, so going to want to make sure that my Overlord's in position here, that I'm not going to get bunkered in, and going to have to deal with this one Marine at the moment. My drone has not yet made it down to the south. He's lazy. Guess I forgot my last rally there, and I haven't yet seen his wall off here, what he's going for. Looks like two Marines here coming out, and first Marine going to try to focus down this Overlord, and if he gets that, it's really huge, especially this early in the game. At first I made 4 lings to just do some scouting, but that Marine actually provoked another 4 lings out of me, so he got 100 minerals and another 2 larvae out of me just for getting a few shots on that Overlord. I desperately did not want to lose that, so already he's a little bit ahead, forcing a lot of lings, and now that's not quite of a wall off. So I'm going to get in here, I'm going to see the factory, the reactor going down on the factory, down a little bit of minerals, and then I'm going to skedaddle here as soon as I can, and looks like those will never make it home. I have my queens out. I'm going to spread creep. I did see the Hellions, so I want to make sure that I've got creep, and I've got speed coming with my lings. A little bit late on the gas, so going to get that up and running as soon as possible. And I know that the reactor was building here, so he won't be able to come out with Hellions quite yet. And typically, most people wait for 4 to 6 Hellions. They don't come out with those first 2. I do have a ling at the watchtower, so I'm going to see when he's coming out. And now I'm going to go ahead and do my my Hellion defense here. And it's going to start with a Spine Crawler and an Evolution Chamber. And I don't feel too bad at this point. He is going to invest probably 200 to 600 minerals in Hellions, as we see 2 here and another 2 on the way for a grand total of 4. So he's investing in this, so I'm going to place down 2 Spine Crawlers and 2 Evolution Chambers. I'll get those Evolution Chambers anyway, perhaps about a minute later, maybe 2 minutes later if I didn't scout those Hellions, because I do like to keep upgrades on my lings. See, speed did start a little bit late. I didn't get on the gas right away, and I'm going to have to get up gas a second one here to kind of support these Evolution Chambers to start my upgrades. But at this point, I do have a wall off here. Lings can actually make it through, and I'm completing with a queen, a 3rd queen on the way, and I'm going to start spreading some creep. So now you see him, he waited to 4 factor, or 4 Hellions and a 5th one on the way. And now he's going to clear that tower. I see it's just 4, and I feel pretty good about this. He can't make it up in here. I've got the queen in hold position, and he's not going to be doing too much damage at all. So, after watching MLG all weekend long, seeing Blue Flame Hellions ripped to shreds basically every race, I did not want to get killed by Blue Flame, so I'm going to come on with my lair now. I really should be starting some upgrades earlier, but going to be going for lair and going to try to squeeze out some mutas quickly here as well. Need to start spreading creep with these queens, be active. See, he's going to try to focus down that. I did not get a cancel on that creep tumor, and with this scan he's actually going to focus down another one, so undoing all the work my queens did, getting an inject there, playing a little bit of shuffling around. And I'm not sure how he saw that creep tumor. Actually, I think he was just targeting down the queen, and he actually killed the creep tumor. So another 2 going down for me. That's the beauty of an extra queen. If you check out the saturation, 33 at the moment, not so great. Another 6 on the way, so already reading my mind in the past, and knowing that I need more. Oh, look at this in this rally from him. So he's going to give me 2 SCVs here. I see those. And just poking out here, I want to see where those Hellions are. I'm actually going to take down looks like 2. He was able to pull that last one back. But again, Lings should be able to make it through here. They do single file. And now I've got a Binding Nest coming up and Spire on the way. I'm going to place it in a place where a scan won't see the tech. Usually you see Spires and Roach Warrens and things going down behind the pool here. So going to try to hide that tech a little bit. And now it looks like he's going to be coming in with the medevac off. He's got these 5 Hellions, and he's got an 8-pack of Marines. And I only have 7 Lings, and they're out on the map at the moment, taking towers and map control. I do have these 3 Queens, so I'm going to have to do some damage with those best I can. And I do not see this drop until the very last second. And there I see it. So all the Queens coming in here. He's going to have a lot of Lings on the way, 22. And right now he's targeting down that extractor, where he really should be targeting down the drones, but he's going to pick up these Blue Flame Hellions as well. I'm going to try to focus down the medevac first, just so that these losses, whatever he brings in here, is not coming out. And now let's check the drone counting station. 39 I had there at the moment, and he's going to get the majority of them here. I didn't want to pull off my drones and get them all lined up. I saw, again, so many of those lineups happening at MLG Anaheim this weekend. So I only lost 9 there, not a big deal. He gave me 2 SCVs, so he has 7 up, and he lost so much in that encounter. All those Hellions, the dropship, and the Marines, and most importantly, his army now only down to 500. So the Terran player is going to want to constantly build up an army throughout the game, and now that he's down to just these few medevacs and Marines, he's going to feel like he can't really push out and put too much pressure on me. So my macro is slipping a little bit, getting really high in minerals and gas here. I need to start my upgrade here on the Spire and start coming out with the mutas as well. Again, make sure anytime your Spire pops up, you immediately start with +1. Makes those mutas so much more effective, and it actually will finish kind of by the time you make it over to your opponent's base with your first set of mutas. So again, a 3rd on the way for me. I'm not taking my traditional 3rd here, just because he's already shown a lot of aggression, and I do not want that to be susceptible to any sort of attack. And I've got a pretty decent wall off here, so I feel like hiding 1 back here, probably the best choice at the moment. We've got 10 mutas on the way, and I've got my 1-1, which again should have started a little bit earlier. I want to be getting 2-2 right about now. If you try to follow this up with any sort of tank and Marine stim timing push, 2-2 does very well, and those mutas do very well as and to try to take down tanks. So now moving into position with these mutas, he is finishing a missile turret right on time. I did not know that it was that timely of a missile turret. So he's going to be prepared for these mutalisks, and I see that, so I'm going to bypass that missile turret, trying to make my way into the mineral lines. And at this point, I'm not really sure how fast the Terran player is going to be on repair. The first missile turret, he wasn't quick to repair. The second one, he was. So I'm going to try to do as much damage as I can here. Medevacs, Terran players, when they sort of A-move into position, especially on a map like this where his army was up, I think taking down these rocks. Since he A-moves back into his main, the medevacs take the shortest route through the air, so you can often pick off an extra medevac or 2 before the Marines even get there. So SCVs are good. Medevacs also very, very good. Again, that Terran player wants a certain number of medevacs to feel safe before he pushes out. If you can get him down to 1 medevac, he definitely won't be pushing out. He wants that, 4 to 6 number once again. So all these little exchanges are good for me. I'm making it so big time delay on his ability to be aggressive and push out. Check the Army tab. It is 2,200 to 1,600, and the majority of that army for me is in these Mutalisks. I have lost more than him at this point. I had a few Mutalisks rallied in that same control group that flew over these missile turrets and Marines, so lost a few there, a little bit sloppy. Again, macro slipping mineral-wise, so I need to be adding gas here to the 3rd, and it looks like I'm doing that, and really should be taking a 4th at this point as well. I did see him taking a 3rd, clearing those rocks. That's actually what prompted me to push in with those mutas. I knew his army was out of position here. I did have a Ling down here just checking to see when those rocks would go down. And now I do have burrowed banelings, so I'm shift queuing these banelings and trying to burrow them so they're nice and spread. What I imagine happening is this big ball is going to go up over this this ridge here and, explode on the banelings, and hopefully many Terran tears. Another thing, I could spread creep up here, but I really want to try to not spread creep because I know he'll scan the second he sees creep. So I'm hoping that these banelings are far enough off creep that he'll move down here before he scans, and I'll be able to get a big shot off on there. So again, mutas are up here, positioned to do some damage to this 3rd once I do see the army push out here, and the Zergling is going to spot that, well positioned there, and now I'm hoping the banelings are going to be in position, and I see the Hellion move up here. I'm a little bit worried that he sees these Lings, maybe he'll get a scan, and there's a scan, and he sees all of these burrowed banelings, which just ruins my night. I'm able to get one shot on his Hellions, but the rest of them do go down. But now he's going to pull back because I guess he's not sure how many more burrowed banelings are out. And I've got another set of banelings on the way. I've got 42 Lings as well, and I've also gotten up to the infestation pit. So I know he's going to have a lot of Marines at this point, and some late infestors after my Mutalisks can do really well. My infestor control isn't great, but I can take down tanks yet, kind of Spanichiwa style, where you burrow the infestors, throw infested Terran by the tanks, and have them kill each other. But using this small group of mutas and then using these infestors, I should be able to deal well with the tank Marine combo. And again, have a lot of banelings and Zerglings just coming out. 2-2 has finished, or I'm at 2-1, 2-2 on the way. And again, more and more Lings. I really need to be macroing up here. About 1,000 minerals and gas at this point, and it looks like I am supply blocked. A few more Overlords coming out. And now it's about time for a 4th, so it looks like I'm taking that, and I should possibly take a 5th as well. And right now I'm just harassing with these mutas. I see him pushing out once again, and I want to slow this down, 1, so that I can come out with more and more Lings. Check the production tab. I think I come out with more here shortly. Also, I want to try to take down a few tanks. Losing control of my mutas just a little bit there, but I was able to take down 1 tank on all these Hellions. Again, Hellions are very fast units, so they often get out in front of the Terran army. And picking off 3 Hellions is going to make those Lings and banelings that much more effective. And once again, I'm going to try to get down another tank or 2 here before the engagement. So coming in here, and there is 1 tank, not going to be able to get that, but I do have 30 Lings on the way, as well as these 8 infestors. So again, taking a few more free Hellions, checking the APM, spiking at about 160 when I'm doing muta harass here. And again, just trying to circle around, make him uncomfortable, make him have to babysit these tanks, and if he doesn't, I'm going to take him down. So should get that tank. There goes 1, and looks like here could go another tank. He is going to be taking small groups of Marines to try to take on the... it's on my mutas there, but I was able to take down all the tanks besides this high ground one, and that's going to be my cue to move out with the Lings and banelings. I've also got these infestors as well, and he's going to stim up and run home because he's got nothing that can handle this huge force. He lost all the siege tanks there, and these infestors are going to really threaten with fungals. As we see, me just trying to do as much damage as I can, basically moving into this, but taking a few more tank shots, and finally going to be pulling back. So once again, need to remax him at 129 of 172. He actually didn't really lose all that much in that encounter. He's on 3 bases. I have an Overlord ready to see when he moves on to a 4th. I'm getting up my 5th. I have yet to saturate my own 4th or 5th. So I do have a macro hatch back here, and I am starting hive tech. So I made him basically turn tail and run home after he saw those infestors and all those tanks went down. I did lose all my mutas, so I'm not going to be able to handle any more tanks coming out from him, at least very well. But checking the tank count, he's only got these 4 tanks. Once again, I'm going to take this tower, so I know exactly when he's pushing out. And I've got 2 towers at this point, as well as this Overlord, so I basically know everything that's going on. I've got Overlords down here, Creep Spread, and a Zergling, which I put down here to spot any drops earlier on. So I've got them pretty well contained. I think Terran's usually the containing race, especially against Zerg. It can be pretty hard with those siege tanks, but now I'm putting on the Zerg contain map vision. And he's going to try to push out here at some point. He's almost max 194. Again, I really need to get on my horse and max out myself. I'm at 143, but I'm waiting for that high tech, and I'm waiting for ultras. Basically, my late game against Terran is a ton of banelings, a ton of lings, and then some ultras to absorb that initial tank fire and just make their way in on those Marines. Marines at 2-2 at this point. I am at 2-2 as well. I need to get 3-3 up and coming. I do have the Ultra Cavern about 50 seconds from completion, but again, Ultras take very long to get out. So he's pushing out once again, and I see this with my Ling, so I'm going to push out with my Infestors, and basically anytime he tries to push out, I can get Fungals and really either drain energy off these Medivacs or take down some Marines as they stray. So just showing those Infestors makes them siege up on the high ground here and slow down the push even more. Again, I'm at 155. I'm waiting on that Ultraless Cavern, so I'm not sure whether it's going to be coming here soon enough. But once again, using these Infestors all full energy to try to delay getting another Fungal on those Hellions. But again, they are just light units, so they don't take that bonus damage. And now he's stimming up a small group of Marines. Smart play on his part. You don't want to stim up your whole Marine ball. And now I'm going to be pulling back, trying not to lose any of these Infestors. One more goodbye Fungal for him. And then that Marine not going to do too well against that Spinecrawler. I pulled all my drones and I had saturated this about halfway back into my main. So way oversaturated here. I need to get up and saturated on my 5th. And I'm just going to sacrifice this hatch rate. I know he is on 4 bases now. This is going to be 4 bases from me if he takes this down. And I'm just delaying for these 8 big boys, these 8 Ultras about to come out. And once they do, I'm going to have a lot of Banelings and a lot of Zerglings as well. I'm trying to take down small groups of units here just so he can't spot my unit composition if he tries to move in here. So Zergling, Baneling, Ultra, and then Infestors as well is going to do very well against this composition. The Ultra is going to move in and take that siege tank fire. Now he's pulling back. Maybe he thinks that I'm only on a 3rd, but I'm on, my 3rd was there, my 4th he just took out, and then my 5th. So the Ultras are now out. I've got another 2 on the way, and that's going to max me out. And I'm banking a lot of minerals, so is he, but he's not going to be able to produce as quickly as I can. And now I'm going to show this army composition. His few Marines going to be taken down, and I'm not really sure where his army is at this point, so I'm going to grab a few Overlords here and try to move them into position to get some scouting information, just to put him over here so I can track his movements. And I'm going to go straight for this 4th. I wasn't sure whether it was a planetary fortress. I ended up suiciding that Overlord in there to try to see earlier, but I was not able to. It had yet to transform, and now I'm going to be leading with these Ultras to take the shots from the planetary fortress. And I've got my Infestors coming as well. They're a little bit slow off creep, but I spot with these Overlords the movement of his army, so I know I have time to take this out, and then I also have time to Fungal here. So if he tries to catch me, I can get good Fungals. Now I'm just going to A-move and try to do my best to Fungal in here as well. Got a lot of Banelings, and they're going to find the tanks, it looks like, so not good targets for those. But I've got Fungals as well behind. So Fungals going down on all the Marines and Marauders. And I will be able to clean that up. And 86 Banelings on the way, ready to remax. I think that ran me out of, just ran me out of Larva. I wasn't keeping up with my injects so well. And he's swapped over to Marauders now that he sees that I'm going for Ultras, but we'll be too little too late. I only have 3 Ultras on the field. Out come the Infested Terran, Destiny's favorite. So they're going to take down the natural while I move in and try to take on the production line. Again, losing an Infestor there. Infestor control, very important. You want to keep those alive. Another Fungal or 2 going down. And these Infested Terran just doing work, allowing this huge, wow, that's a lot of Zerglings coming in here. So now his wall is down, I'm in his production. He's going to have units coming out one at a time. Again, he's got 4,000 banked minerals, but these lings, which are 2-2 at this point, just going to rip them apart. I'm up to 70 drones compared to his 30 SCVs. At this point, I figure I might as well go over and try to take down the third as well. I know that this is going to be his probably his last mining base. I did not know about the fifth that he has up in the north there. So I'm in his production. Can't really do too much, and I'm just once again sending more and more lings. Actually, 10 ultras are on the way. So yeah, the cavalry will soon be there if these lings can't handle it. But Marauder's not doing so hot against lings. Lings just doing 13 damage minus the 2 armor. 11 damage, so Marauder's taking 4 hits to kill each ling, and he just leaves. So pretty low APM for me there, 92, but again, 28-minute game, and at the end it's just A moving, pretty low APM. Had these infestors, I was actually going up to the north to try to spot any bases. Probably would have lost them all to this planetary fortress not paying attention. But you saw I was able to sacrifice this base down here. Wasn't a huge deal because I had expanded away from my opponent northward here. I had those towers, I had an overlord over here spotting, I had an overlord right outside of his base, I had an overlord down here spotting for those drops, so I had very good map control. I felt good about having these expansions up here. Eventually got up to that 70 drone count, which you like to see. And I was able to fund those ultras and the late game Zergling and Baneling heroics there. So probably could have controlled that last battle a little bit better. The Banelings found those tanks instead of the Marines, but thankfully I had those infestors and fungals just tore apart those Marines. So pretty decent game on my part, I think. Again, don't have too much trouble with Terran, especially once I get to the late game. Fend off that early bunker play or the tank timing, which comes around the 10-minute mark, pretty difficult to deal with as well. But again, still some sloppy play on my part. Need to be transferring drones. Should probably be on another 2 bases at this point as well, just to support my huge trust fund, and then keep up with injects. All the queens very high on energy, and at the end there I actually ran out of larva when I had those 80 lings coming out at the end. So not too bad, but always looking to improve and doing quite well in Season 3. So thanks for watching. You guys take care.